Well, the roof is closed, but as you can probably tell, the mouths of these Cowboy fans could not be more wide open. It is a frenzied AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape, up past the 30. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. The first carry now. This is Williams. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's
to the right side and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Mozzie Smith, he's the one who got in there and made that play defensively.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
That's Samuel, caught left side. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Here's Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. Touchdown, Washington. K.J. Osborne, 41 yards. And the Commanders use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they finally get to him out near midfield, but he's all the way across the 45 to the 46. Second drive forthcoming here for the Dallas Cowboys. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
That's Javon Kinlaw busting through, and he sticks him behind the line.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Prescott off play action. That is caught by Lamb. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Lamb's first catch of the game, good for a first down.
And that's how you shake off the interception you threw on the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
And he'll snag about 5 yards down to the 32.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From the 32-yard line now, here's second down and 5. Now they'll toss it out right to Williams. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That one a first down pickup of 8.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Play fake. Here's Prescott. That's to Schoonmaker, the tight end. That'll give them 8 that time, and it'll be second and a couple. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Second and a couple. Now Prescott. And he's got it. And the Cowboys are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
They'll try to run this one in. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop it behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal. They'll run here, the former Longhorn with it. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Call it no gain that time, and now it's third and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on third down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
And this one is right through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Now Washington going to retake the field for drive number 2. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that will bring up second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. To the air goes Daniels. And that's incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. They go play action. Daniels. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. 35 yards that time on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. On play action, they'll throw. He'll find Lamb crossing the formation for the catch. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
On play action, Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Textbook coverage right there. Played the ball, never lost sight of where it was headed, and stayed in perfect position to make a play on it. Able to keep the receiver and the quarterback in his sight lines.
So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Off the option, here's Williams. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
He finds his man, complete. That's Ferguson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A very solid gain of 27.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Throwing, Prescott. Toward the pylon, but it's incomplete.
Boy, that was lockdown coverage there. He's scanning for someone to come open. But that was great work to blanket everyone. And in the end, he's just got to throw it away.
The Commanders' defense looking for a stop here. It's 3rd and goal. Now Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. A 3-yard touchdown pass, and the Cowboys have taken the lead. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
Aubrey good with a PAT, and the lead is now 10-7. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now Daniels. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Micah Parsons. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards.
Well, they've got the lead, but it's certainly not a big one. And how do you keep control of that lead? Certainly not by that last play there. They gave up a big sack on the first play of this drive. Now it's double the distance to the first down marker.
Back to throw. Daniels. He finds his man. Complete. That's Lane. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Well, a tough situation to overcome here. 3rd and 17. And that will be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air, so now they're seeing if they can duplicate that performance.
Okay, if I show my age a little bit, partner, because I can hear my high school coach, John Ford. I can hear his voice in my head. Laddie, when you put the ball in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. But the way the game's being played now, this is just part of what they do, so I don't think they should change anything at all. They've been dominant. Keep throwing it around.
From the 46, here's 2nd down and 7. Here's Prescott. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
I think that's how this defense is going to need to play these tight ends. They got to get right up on them and stay physical. And that paid off on that play, helping force that incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Prescott. That is caught. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, 2nd down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. 10-7 our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. Here's 2nd and 10. As they've got it as we resume action. Prescott now. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. It's the former number 4 overall pick, Clelin Ferrell, that got in there to bring him down.
But they've been fighting and scratching and clawing for that first sack in the game, and it turns out to be a big one. Not just a short one right there behind the line. First one they get, 10-plus yards on a guy who has the legs to escape most of these.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Clelin Ferrell drops him again for the 2nd straight play, and it brings up 4th down.
Well, this defense has to feel good because they've now brought down one of the faster quarterbacks in the game multiple times. That defensive unit, they're letting us all know they get paid too. They're no slouches themselves.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away. It's a net of 40 there. Punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense set to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
We often give credit to the O-line there. 2 tight end formation. Those tight ends block pretty well also.
Yeah, and that's one of the most dynamic positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Able to find the open man. That's complete. Touchdown, Washington. K.J. Osborne. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Commanders are able to move back in front. Well, only the 2 catches for him thus far, CD, but both of them have resulted in touchdowns.
And I think he's on the bench right now, Brandon, smiling at his position coach and telling him, all those times you talked to us about efficiency, I'm living it right now.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He'll find Lamb. That's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
They give it to Williams, right. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
2nd and 10. Here's Prescott. Completes this one to Pickens. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On third down, here's Williams. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Prescott drops it to Blue, complete. So no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Blue on the toss. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4. Prescott to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 23. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
Now a shotgun handoff. Blue, a beautiful fake. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
2nd down and 6 now. He'll look to throw. Outright, he finds Tolbert. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. 2 first-half touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have taken the lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now the extra point up and good by Aubrey. And it's now 17-14. So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And the Washington offense heading out As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game, and they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And this is going to be a Commander's first down as he'll take this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down at 7. To throw is Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First catch here by McLaurin, and he's got himself a first down.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's Daniels. Robinson's got it. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Daniels looking to throw. And that is incomplete.
Coverage is awfully tight there on third down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The offense for the Cowboys now working their way back onto the field. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Now Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 33. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll look to throw. The short one there taken in by Ferguson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Left side to Lamb. And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. So 8 yards on the completion there, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Again, he'll drop to throw. And it's caught. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal. And that extra yardage makes this upcoming field goal attempt much more manageable.
Agreed, because when you talk to defensive coordinators, they always tell us the 35-yard line on our side of the field, that's the line we guard the most aggressively, because once they get there, they believe they're in field goal range.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the fourth quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. One final possession for the Commanders in this opening half. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. The final shot before break. Daniels. He's going to loft this one deep left sideline. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Washington down on the scoreboard, but they are getting the football first here, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. First chance for the Commanders offense now as they head out for their opening series of the second half. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Donovan Wilson that time there on the tackle.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level. Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
A yard all they need, but it's third down. Throw left side complete. That's Lane. Loose inside the 30. Inside the 10. And finally taken down at the 4-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
Oh, big-time credit. What a play design there. They wanted to get him loose in the open field, and they succeeded. He had all sorts of room to operate in, and they finally track him down inside the 5-yard line.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Robinson again, but he will go backwards as he's stopped for a loss. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
And now third and goal coming up, the loss on second down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
They'll look to throw on third and goal. Dancing to his left. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jaden Daniels taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Commanders have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. They were looking to pass the ball there, but they forgot to account for the man with the football.
Yeah, I can hear people right now saying, well, why don't you have a spy in your defense, someone who will dance with him and go where he goes? Well, oftentimes if you utilize a spy, you've taken away someone in coverage as well. And oftentimes, the spy, not as athletic as the guy he's trying to keep up with, so he gets defeated anyway.
And he turns third and goal into a touchdown. After the touchdown, it's Gay to kick this one away. And they'll have good field position here as he's out of bounds up at about the 34-yard line. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just already know our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side trying to match each other. Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be third and about the length of the football. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just third and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10. Prescott now, option right. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Up the middle, it's Williams. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Back to throw here. Flushed out right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Javon Kinlaw with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Now we get another look at Washington on offense. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about saying defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Daniels. He finds his man, complete. That's Lane. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. To the air goes Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commanders first down by a couple of yards as they're able to convert here on 3rd and 3.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What did the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Now Daniels. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Kenneth Murray, the blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. And they brought the pressure there just right up the gut, didn't they?
Yeah, they certainly did. And, you know, when you've got so many different responsibilities as an offensive line, you got to deal with the nose tackle, the 2 defensive tackles or ends, and then sometimes you just can't account for everyone. The linebacker slipped free.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Dallas offense set for this next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. He'll hand this to Williams to start things out. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Prescott. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Give him 15 there, and the Cowboys have a first.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Lamb will go in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep, and instead of give up the middle to Williams. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. 72 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Another one to C.D. Lamb. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Dak Prescott. And the Cowboys have retaken a 3rd quarter lead.
I know we often laugh and sometimes we even exalt the guys who are great trash talkers and give us some really funny lines. But the bottom line is absolute production on the field. His 2nd touchdown of the game, and they lead.
And now they'll be looking to their defense to preserve that lead. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Samuel in motion. 2nd and 11. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that he can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
He's got him in, complete. Touchdown, Washington. Deebo Samuel, 74 yards. And the Commanders have a chance to tie the ball game here in the final minute of the third. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play, and just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Prescott. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the 4th. Prescott now. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
The fumble on 1st down. Now here's 2nd down. Out of the gun, they run with blue. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. He sets to fire deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That would have been a nice one to hit on in a tie game. You start to think that one big play, maybe the next big play, could turn out to be the game winner. They took the big shot, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. A solid stiff arm. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Daniels. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Daniels. Open man is Samuel. Complete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Daniels from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught, and he's going to have a Commanders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll look to throw again. Throwing it Terry McLaurin's way again, and he's got it. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 12 more yards for him there. It's a first down.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
Now Daniels going to give it up on the touch pass. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
2nd down and 4. They go play action. Daniels. This will be caught. It's Samuel. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels. A 3-yard run as he kept it himself. And the Commanders have broken our tie and have taken a 4th quarter lead. Well, Charles, he's already proven that he's not afraid to tuck that football down on the option, and he's into the end zone for the 2nd time in the game.
And that's exactly what you need from your quarterback. The ability to run the ball fearlessly. And in fact, many quarterbacks will tell you running the football doesn't scare them. Standing in the pocket and taking blindside hits, that's what terrifies them.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the 4th quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Here's Williams to start the drive. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 78 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Prescott to throw it. This throw left side is caught by Tolbert. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play.
Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear in risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get them the completion.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Prescott. And this ball is caught by Lamb. Touchdown, Dallas. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. We are set up for a fantastic finish now. A 4th-quarter touchdown here. We're an extra point away from a tie football game.
And I know they're thinking about possibly going for 2, but I'd go ahead and kick this one and just get it back to level.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. Play action, now it's Daniels. And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Daniels. They'll roll him out right. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the...
And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Dante Fowler. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's Tressway now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And taken down just shy of the 40.
Brandon, we just saw the benefits of being able to run the ball successfully. They pick up 4 yards on that carry. So now if you're a play caller, you can do just about anything you want, but on the defensive side of the ball, you're scrambling a little bit. Now you're behind trying to figure out, do I need to blitz him? Do I need to pressure him? How do I gain an advantage on this snap?
Again, it's Williams. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 105 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 48-yard line, here's the 2nd and 9. On play action, Prescott. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, 3rd down. Prescott now from the 50. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 35. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now a 2nd and 6. On the option to give to Williams here. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The completion on first didn't get much, and now the run on second doesn't get a whole lot either.
Well, if you're a good play caller, you've already looked ahead and anticipated this type of situation. Already down on his play sheet, trying to dial up a big 3rd down play.
Prescott from the gun on 3rd. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he will have a Cowboys first down. He needed 5. He got it barely as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards. Here's a fake on the jet sweep, and instead a give up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Javonte Williams, 25 yards, as his guys have taken the lead here in the final 2 minutes.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
So after the touchdown, Aubrey now to kick this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now Washington down by 7. A little under a minute 50 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down. back to throw. Pass caught here by Osborne. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. He's back to throw. He's got McLaurin. And McLaurin going to pick up a Commander's first down as he'll be brought down at the 38-yard line.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. This is Robinson.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Here comes 2nd down and 5. Back to throw. It's caught inside the 25. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute.
The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to him, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as it kicks away here. But a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. They need to get this around the 40 on the other side to get into field goal range. Look at the clock, a decent amount of time here in a tie game. What do?
No panic situation at all. They've got to get a couple of chunk plays, pick up nice bits of yardage.
Target the sideline?
Target the sidelines because you want to get out of bounds and make sure that clock stops. Because if the clock stays running, that makes things that much tougher for you. It can always bleed out on you.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
He'll find Lamb. That's complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. A give to Williams, running right. He's got it to the 43 here.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Here's a 2nd and 7. They run it again with Williams, and he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This from long, very long range. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. You talk about a big kick under pressure in the fourth quarter. I mean, that wasn't like a 33-yarder. That was long distance.
Not only does it show the faith that they have in him, but also remember, if they'd missed that one, they're giving up the ball near midfield, so they had to be very confident that he was going to put that one through the post.
So after the made field goal, back out is Aubrey to kick this away. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Another drive coming up for this Washington offense, and the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to do.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That was a long shot, but they did get one final chance to try to score and overcome this small deficit. No touchdown, though, Charles. And that brings this one to a close.
Yeah, I think Hope was wearing one jersey and Worry was wearing another on the other sideline as that final snap played out. Now, we've seen some incredible plays to win games before, but in this case, I think the distance was just a little bit too great for it to happen here.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Cowboys as we sign off and say so long from Arlington.